Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel here. So today we're going to be doing a new product uh, showcase here. It's from the Adams lineup, so it's going to be Adams Rinse Aid. Actually, I picked this up just to kind of see what it's about, and because it kind of has an intriguing use in terms of application, because you can. This is actually like a DIY Detail Quick Beads product, a Geon Wet Coat type product, Carpro Hydro 2 Light, I believe is what it is. It's that type of product where you spray and rinse, and you can add some quick protection to the surface. Now this actually has a secondary use where you can put it in your foam cannon, and you can use your foam cannon to distribute it on the surface. You're going to dilute this in the water, and I'll show you what I did in the foam cannon. So if you're going to be using this for, they call it a quick detail or drying aid. I don't really like that name. They should just call it spray and rinse, because you can't use it as a quick detailer / drying aid. If you could, that'd be great. But here's what they state for that, which is essentially spray and rinse. Is you're going to dilute it with water at 1 to 9, so 1 part concentrate with 9 parts water. It says, following washing the vehicle and while it's still wet, mist the quick detailer solution onto all exterior surfaces, working a few panels at a time. Using pressurized water, spray off excess solution thoroughly and note the instantaneous hydrophilic behavior on the surface. Either towel dry or use forced air to finish drying the vehicle completely. So it's not really a quick detailer, it's a spray and rinse. They need to change the label. It's spray and rinse. Okay, so if you're going to use it in a foam cannon or foam gun, you're going to, it says, following washing the vehicle and while it's still wet, add 2 to 3 ounces of Adams Rinse Aid to foam cannon / gun reservoir and dilute to volume with fresh water. So they don't give you a dilution. You don't have to use 1 to 9 in that aspect. I actually fill this one up, this foam cannon here, to about halfway, and then I'm just going to add some product in here. It says, spray or hose Adams Rinse Aid solution over the entire vehicle, including paint, glass, wheels, and plastics. This solution can be applied to all exterior surfaces safely and effectively. However, do not let the solution dry on the surface or residue could manifest. Once all surfaces and sufficiently coated, disconnect foam cannon / gun and switch to fresh water and rinse all excess material off the surface thoroughly or proceed immediately into drying. Either towel dry or use forced air to dry the vehicle. So again, it's 2 different uses for the product. I'm going to show you both. Actually, I used it on my Grand Prix that has clear coat failure and actually worked pretty darn good. So at least it's beating on the part that doesn't have clear coat anymore. It's not going to last very long. That was my test subject here, but it will leave a residue in the heat. So actually, let me pour some out here. Again, I've already used some. If you're going to be using this on a regular basis, I'm just pouring this into a little cup here. So I'm going to put 2 ounces. I'm going to flip you guys around to the foam cannon reservoir, which is filled with halfway. So that's 20 milliliters. I had good success with 2 ounces. So here's 40 milliliters. This is going to be 60 milliliters here, so that's 2 ounces of product into a foam cannon with water. So I'm going to go ahead and wash the car. I'm going to bring you back and I'm going to show you how this product works on the surface. Now the foam cannon I'm actually using my Bear Force foam cannon here. I've been having problems with this foam cannon. I don't know what the heck's wrong with it, so I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and just use this, because I didn't want to throw it away. I can just use this for this purpose, and it will distribute product onto the surface. So you can just get that. You're going to shake it up, and you're going to have this milky solution because now it's mixed up. Now, I was reading the comments on the actual video, and Chris Gallagher is the chemist for Adams products and B&B in general, and he was stating that it's a pretty complex formula that's in there, and hopefully kind of chimes in. I'm going to see if he can chime in and again give all of you the details of what makes this product what it is, because it's not just I think people were asking if it's PDMS, and I think he can go into the full thing of what's actually in Rinse Aid here and give us a quick little breakdown on here. So I'll be right back. Let me wash the car and I'll show you how this works. Hi everyone, welcome back here. So I just finished washing this wheel here. Actually still has soap on there. I'm going to rinse it off. I want to show you how Ghost is doing after, I don't even know how many weeks it's been at this point. I will post that on the comments here. But let's take a look at the wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this off. Okay, so I'm going to show you how the hydrophobics of Ghost. All I used was soap and water. So I have Adam's car shampoo in the bucket. And I want to just take a look at the hydrophobics of this. Okay, so you can see that it does sheet all that water off, so it's still on there. This stuff's pretty durable. It's like on the verge of a tire coating. Now, as far as the wheel, if we take a look at it, we see areas of dead spots where it's not as hydrophobic. This has, I think this wheel has the Armor wheel coating at this point. Honestly, I can't remember. It's been almost 2 years at this point. But you can actually see it struggling here, 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 and here. So, you know, that tire coating only has, you know, they claim up to 2 years. I'm gonna have a whole video on wheel coatings here. If I said tire coating, I meant wheel coating. So I have rinse a diluted 1 to 9 in this bottle. I just have a small little sample, and then we're just gonna spray it. This trigger's not great, and I'm gonna spray it into the wheel, and it's diluted with distilled water, and you can see that it instantly beads as soon as it makes contact with the surface. Most spray and rinse products do. And so we're going to rinse. I'm going to let this sit for just a few seconds, and then we'll spray it off, and I'll show you how hydrophobic it is. It's actually pretty good for what it is. How long it's going to last, honestly, I have no idea. And I got to look at the cost to see if it's actually worth investing in. But again, I think they did a pretty good job with this. Okay, I'm going to rinse this off. Okay, so I can splash water on my face, but you can actually see. Let me wipe the camera because I got water on there. Wipe this off. Okay, so you can actually see that the restored hydrophobics in that area here. And that's what you're going to get with these type of products. You're going to get instant hydrophobics just to add temporary protection. Say like this wheel coating here is degrading. And I'm really just buying time until I recoat it. Actually, I want to resurface these wheels and fix all the curb rash before I coat them. So I'll probably do that before I recoat them. But again, it's just temporary, quick protection, diluted 1 to 9. I think again, I have to look at the cost to see if it's really worth it. And we'll talk about that in final thoughts. But again, from a spray and rinse, works great. They need to change the term. It's not a quick detailer or drying aid, whatever they're calling it. It's actually a spray and rinse. So I'll be right back with the foam cannon application, and we'll go final. All right, everyone, welcome back here. So I just finished washing the car. I did use Adam's graphene shampoo. Now that one will not leave protection in there. It has the degreasing aspect of it, but I want to show you the performance of Armor Display Quartz Pro, coming up I think close to 2 years at this point. I'll put the exact time frame in there. And people are going to see this and they're going to be like, oh, it's pretty disappointing. For me, it's normal to see this, and I'll explain why after I show you. Okay, so you can clearly see the hydrophobics are not like they were during my 1 year update, I think is when I did it. You can clearly see that's not there. Here's the thing, so, and if I show you over here, the side panels, look fantastic, right? So, and I'll show you another part that's being affected here is the upper part of the door panels here. You can see it start to sheet. And then right here in this area here as well. You can see the difference between the lower panel and that panel here. And again, that's completely normal here. And you wanna know why it's normal here? Because here in Southern California, UV is the killer of coatings. So on the lower ends, like down here, it looks great, right? Because I don't live in areas where there's snow and they put all these chemicals in the ground. Here is where it starts to have problems, because again, UV, and so it degrades flat surfaces that are exposed to the sun, like this here. I polished off the trunk a long time ago. The roof, which I ended up putting pan stuff on there. These little guys here, those little pieces there, and then as I showed you on the hood. So I mean, it's still beading, it's still doing pretty good, but it's starting to become a sheeting style coating. Again, completely normal from what I see. I had a little bit more high hopes for this one in the sense that I wanted it to last a bit longer, maybe get another year out of it. I've already deconned this with the water spout remover about maybe two or 3 weeks ago, and this is what I'm getting here. So just want to give you guys a quick look at that and why coating degradation is different in different parts of the world here. Again, most of you are used to seeing coating degradation down here, but that's because everybody that lives in areas of snow and have issues there with all the chemicals. Not too many people talk about the degradation in areas where it's just sun. For example, California, Arizona, Florida. Degradation occurs in these types of areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cam down for a minute because I need to put the rinse aid in the foam can in here. So give me 1 second as I set up here. And so I have it again just in here. I'm going to give it a quick shake, put on the foam gun. I'm going to see if my pattern's okay. Okay. So now I'm going to take you and we're going to spray this on the surface. And I'm going to show you, we saw that this back panel here is problematic. You know what? I'm not going to, we'll just do it here. Okay, so what you notice, it starts to bead on contact here. Okay, so I am working with one hand, so bear with me. I'm in a tight spot back here because I'm close to the wall, so bear with me here. So I'm not putting it here because I'm actually testing the ethos coatings, and those things look freaking great. So again, just I'm just going to use up whatever I have in the bottle here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to the nozzle and we're going to rinse this off. You don't have to let this sit very long, so pop that off. Let me pop the nozzle back on, so apologize for all the movement here. Okay. Just make sure my nozzle doesn't pop off. And I'll show you this one area here where we saw it wasn't beading. So did it get it as good as down here? No, but at least I have some better protection. heck of a lot better, right? And it's going to get better as it cures on the paint. Remember these little pillars right here that were seen better days? Even here I can't get anything to last on the mirrors, so again, temporary. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? We'll grab the hose here. Let's get this hose. Let's finish rinsing this thing. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I mean, I restored the hydrophobics on top of that coating. And that's it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Even this piece that had degradation here, it has some beading. And then here's the Ethos coatings. I think it's Easy Peasy, Graphene Matrix, Graphene Pro, Graphene Max, and then the new Ceramic Matrix 2.0. Okay, so this is Ceramic Matrix 2.0. This little section here, I think it's Graphene Max. It's either Max or Pro. I have to look at the picture that I took if I still have it. This is Graphene Matrix 2.0 right here. And this is Easy Peasy. I mean, all these are pretty solid and really good hydrophobics from all three how many is that? 4 coatings, whatever it is, 5. So again, that's Rinse Aid here. As you can see, I have hydrophobics back on the hood. And there's the water beading from that. Pretty tight, pretty nice. All right, and then this back portion, which was starting to have the issues here. So that looks good. So that's Rinse Aid. We're going to go back in the garage. I'm going to finish drying this because my dad's going to be leaving pretty soon. My parents. I just want to wash this car real quick. So we'll go final thoughts here, but that's the look of Rinse Aid in 2 ways. You saw the foam cannon application, how it starts beading immediately. Here's the beading one more time. from it to real tight water beading. Now I have hydrophobics on top of the coating that's degrading over time. That has degraded over time. And again, we'll talk about final thoughts here in a minute, so I'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel here, and we're going to do final thoughts on Adams Rinse Aid. We're going to talk about pros and cons, things I liked about it, things I noticed about it as I used it. So you saw me use it in both applications, spray and rinse application and the foam cannon application. Now as a spray and rinse, we see that it does work because I have a wheel coating that's degrading in certain areas and that's lost its hydrophobics. It's become sheeting versus beading. And once you spray Rinse Aid on the surface, you see that it immediately starts beading on the surface, and then you can just go ahead and let it sit there for just a few seconds, rinse it off, and it will impart hydrophobics just like most spray and rinse products will. So we saw that feature on there, and it did a great job at that. The other feature that this has is you can dilute it in your foam cannon. They do state diluting it, what does it say on the back here, 2 to 3 ounces, and it says dilute, add 2 to 3 ounces and dilute to volume with fresh water. So it doesn't really tell you how much water you have to have in your foam cannon. I only filled it up halfway because I was only doing 1 car. If I was doing 2 cars, I'd probably fill up that foam cannon all the way to the top for the 32 ounces, and then I would just add 2 ounces in there. It seems to play well with 2 ounces. I don't think you need to add 3 ounces. I don't think you're going to notice that much of a difference between 2 and 3 ounces of actual concentrate into your foam cannon. So I would just stick with 2 ounces into your foam cannon and then just go around the vehicle and give it an even coat, and then come back and rinse it off. I would recommend not doing it in the sun. I noticed on the Grand Prix there was a part of the glass that was exposed to the sun, so that part was actually hot, and when I was drying the glass on there, it was a bit smeary just in that one section. That's one of the comments that I saw, that some people were saying it leaves a film, but if you use it in a cool shaded area on cool paint, you're not going to have that issue. I think you'll be perfectly fine doing that. I know some people have followed up with like a quick detailer just to make sure that they don't have any weird film. I didn't notice any weird film on the Impala. I just noticed it on the one section on the Grand Prix, but other than that, not a big deal. So I did dry off the car with the Eco blower, and then I just came back with a towel and I was drying it, and I noticed that the surface was slick to the touch, and so you will get some slickness on it, kind of like DIY Detail Quick Beads. If any of you have used that, you will have some slickness on the paint, which is a nice feature. And it seemed to add some gloss to the surface. I mean, it looked great on the Impala, and actually even on the Grand Prix it looks great for the parts that still have base coat, clear coat. So it looked great on that surface. So it seems to impart gloss, slickness, and of course hydrophobics. I think it works really well with that. As far as cons for this product, one is I think they need to change the naming convention for the spray and rinse. They state quick detailer / drying aid. That's kind of misleading in terms of the name, because most people think a quick detailer is actually a quick detailer, and that you can be used as a drying aid. So there's a misconception in the name. Just call it spray and rinse. When I hear quick detailer / drying aid, I think of a product like Armor Supply Amplify, which is a quick detailer that can be used as a drying aid. This is what this product is designed to do. Again, the Adams Rinse Aid is a spray and rinse, so they should just call it spray and rinse. Their naming convention sometimes is not the best. Just take another example is hoseless wash, which is actually a rinseless wash. You just call it what it is, rinseless wash. Hoseless wash sounds kind of goofy, so that's kind of just one thing. And the other thing is, I'm going to recommend you have a dedicated foam cannon for this product. I don't know if it's going to clog in the foam cannon, so I would recommend you flush out your foam cannon as well. So I recommend just having a cheap foam cannon just in case it does clog up in there. Again, I don't know if it does, but it's always good to have just a cheap foam cannon set aside so that you can just use this product in there. That's why I have the Bear Force cannon. For some reason, it doesn't work very well to foam anymore, but it seems to work. It worked just fine with this. So I'm sacrificing that foam cannon to use this product rather than using my Griot's foam cannon. So that's one. I think that's the other con, is you have to buy another foam cannon and add to your arsenal. But again, not a big deal. You can get cheap ones on Amazon for like $10-15. Other than that, we see that the product does work in both applications. We saw that it did leave beading on the surface, which is what this product's supposed to do, and it restored the hydrophobics, or it actually imparted hydrophobics on the coating that's starting to degrade on the Impala. So overall, it works great. No issues with it. I think the other con is it doesn't come in gallons. So if it comes in gallons, it's even more cost effective, because you're only going to use 2 ounces if you're going to use it in your foam cannon. I don't think you need to use 3, as I mentioned. So I think you're going to be, if they can issue this in gallons, it's going to be a winner, and it's going to be more cost effective than something like Wet Coat or DIY Details Quick Beads, Car Pros version. It's just going to be a lot cheaper, because I can dilute it at 1 to 9 and just make a spray and rinse, or I can just add a couple ounces in my foam cannon and I'm good to go. So something to keep in mind. I hope we'll see if Adams does come up with one in a gallon of this product, but price wise, it's $19.99. They're always having sales, 20-25% off. I think I bought this one when they had 30% off select products, so it brought the price down a lot cheaper than anything else. So again, you can get really solid deals on there. Other than that, that's all I have for you. Post your comments down below if you'd be interested in trying this product, or if you've used this product, go ahead and post down below. I don't see too many videos on this, so I don't think it's really gaining traction. That's probably why they don't have gallons. But yeah, if any of you are looking for like a spray and rinse, or maybe you just have an extra foam can lying around, maybe a good option to try this out. Let me know what you guys think. Are you interested in trying this? Post down below as well. That's all I have. Again, thanks for watching. I will catch you next one. Take care, everyone.